GangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
And then, just to jump onto the next card, like I said, Halloween is packed. So also fighting on Halloween, on ESPN. I don't know if they're gonna make the decision to put this on. I mean, right now it's on ESPN Plus. I don't know if they're gonna change their mind and put on regular ESPN. They probably should. But we have.
It's good for them.
We have the Monster. Monster Inoue. He's about to make his first defense of his IBF and WBA bantamweight titles that he unified in a classic, in the best fight of 2019, absolute best fight. I mean, that's not questioned in my opinion. Against Naoya Inoue, and he'll be facing Jason Maloney, one half of the Fighting Twins from Australia. His brother, already has a Fight of the Year this year from the Bubble Series, from ESPN. Now, originally we were trying. We all wanted Inoue to fight Casemiro, who holds the WBO crown, but unfortunately, Top Rank would not pay for that damn fight, which I think is a huge mistake. Especially since Casemiro kind of showed out on the Charlo pay-per-view. Highly entertaining fight. So, but we're not mad at Jason Maloney though. I mean, Jason Maloney is a tough guy, like tough as fuck.
And he's talented. He's quick.
He's the Maloney.
Yeah, like Jason Maloney. Like the first time anyone really saw him, like it was back in the World Boxing Super Series semis, where he and then WIBF bantamweight champion Emmanuel Rodriguez, they fought a low-key fight of the year. Actually, it was in Florida. That's what I told you I wanted you to try to go to. That shit. I mean, that whole card was kind of flames, and those two went to war, and then Maloney just lost that shit by a close split decision. But but he hasn't lost since. The last time he was out, he bodied some cat, in the summertime during the Top Rank Bubble Series. So I mean, Jason Maloney, he's a good opponent.
Yeah, he's definitely a tough customer.
Yeah,
very much so. P, I'll start with you, man. How do you see this fight going?
I think this is going to be a really good fight. I think Maloney's going to bring it, and he's going to make it tough for the Monster. And I still am a little worried about that eye, because I've seen the pictures, and every time, is he really recovered? Is he good? Is he? But I think ultimately, the Monster's going to show out, and he's going to do what monsters do, monster shit. And I think it's going to be a tough one, but I definitely think that Inoue is going to pull it out.
Yeah, no, and I get you, and I get you. You hesitating on the eye thing, because I mean, if you watch Inoue and Donaire, Monster absorbed some unbelievable punishment without going down, and in doing so, he suffered some injuries. Particularly, he suffered a cracked orbital, which, from what I understand, they let it heal on its own naturally instead of going to get surgery. Something that I didn't think was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing either.
Yeah, yeah, and then the worst thing too is before COVID, Top Rank was about to get him back in the ring at April, after, and that was only was it 5 months, give or take,
Yeah.
I was that's too damn soon for after a war like that, especially with his type of injuries. So I mean, the COVID in this particular case was a blessing in disguise, because it allowed him to at least get some extra rest.
I agree.
Extra healing time, and he needed it. I don't say there's not too many fighters I say that needed healing time and needed to not fight. Monster was one of them, because after victory, you want to build his profile. Dude, right now is probably sitting. I mean, he's arguably at the lowest. He's top 5 for pound. Dude is up there. You don't want to rush them. You don't want to rush someone like that to get ruined.
He's in my top 3, but
yeah. So I mean, how I see this fight go, I mean, I do think Maloney is tough enough that he will give him a hard time. If Monster blows him away less than 3 rounds, I'd be damn.
You
Okay.
gotta be super impressed.
Yeah, you gotta be super. Yeah, Maloney's not a guy. I mean, he only has that one loss, and it was a close split decision. So I mean, I do think Monster, if he knows what's good for him, will kind of box a little bit instead of going balls to the walls. Because he Monster has to preserve himself, and Moloney does hit incredibly hard. So you don't want a repeat of the Donaire fight where Maloney is like, all of a sudden starts breaking bones in his face. And so I mean, I do see Monster putting him away, but I do think, hopefully, I do think that he'll probably box a little bit more patiently, and he'll probably do it by maybe 7 or 8 rounds, give or take. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes a little farther than that, but I don't see Maloney lasting the distance. LB, what about you?
Oh man, the monster returned.
Yeah, no, Monster's one of LB's favorite fighters. He was on Monster before anyone else, most of us, really.
Oh man, I think it's gonna be like a 5th round KO. But more like a shootout, and Monster's just gonna keep getting to him, just technique, straighter, quicker, more compact punching, and just, bombs in both hands. Maloney could hit hard, he's quick, but he's a little more open up. Monster just gonna narrow in and get him out of there, but Maloney gonna land his though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't say it because one of Monster's biggest weaknesses. I don't think he's defensively responsible enough. Maloney will take advantage of that. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
He will though, but it'll be more question of can Maloney take Monster's power? That's the big question. But yeah, no, this fight is a fight of the year on paper to me right now. It probably may not end up that way. The undercard for it, top rank undercards, they're kind of hit or miss pretty, the co-main is Michaela Mayer versus, Eva Brodnicka. I probably pronounced that last name wrong, but,
that's a title fight, right?
Yeah, it's a title fight.
Yeah, it's a title fight.
Okay, yeah, I'm hyped for that too.
Yeah, Bob Arum has definitely been trying to push Michaela Mayer to the moon, so
As he should.
Yeah, this is Michaela Mayer's first title shot. So that should be an entertaining scrap. And then you got the real big baby Jared Anderson on the card. So
Put the real in front of it now.
Yeah, you have to, because the other big baby's on some bullshit right now.
Yeah, who we barely knew yet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Jarrell Miller is on some bullshit right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it should be. And then, like I said, it has a bunch of the top ranked prospects. The Rodriguez brothers are on there, Julian and Jesse Rodriguez. They had some interesting fights during the bubble series. So it should be a decent it's a decent watching undercard. And then the last and the final card for Halloween, it's the return of Oleksandr Usyk. He's been out for about give or take a year. First because he was injured, and then second because of COVID. So now he's back and in his second fight at heavyweight, and he's going to be facing a pretty much I don't know if you want to call him a gatekeeper, a journeyman, a fringe contender. But we got Dereck Chisora.
All the above.
Yeah, all the above.
All the above.
Dereck Chisora.
All the above.
Give him a crowd, a fight. He's in there.
Yeah, but now Usyk. I think the biggest thing about Usyk right now is, most people, I guess people are fronting on what he actually is. Yes. Usyk in about 12, 13, 14 fights, whatever. Dude unified cruiserweight, fully unified cruiserweight, and made a unified cruiserweight defense before giving up his belt to go into heavyweight. And his first heavyweight fight against Chaz Witherspoon, someone who that wasn't his original opponent. His original opponent, tested positive for roids. And then his heavyweight debut was kind of mid for most people. Pretty much
I forgot about it, honestly. that's how mid it was. It was so mid that it was forgettable.
Yeah, like pretty much Chaz Witherspoon didn't. I mean, first of all, Chaz Witherspoon, like what year is this?
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, dude. I mean, I don't think I've even seen dude like fight in about 4 or 5 years. And so it's like to see him on a randomly on a pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, excuse me, on the zone card like that was kind of like jarring. And unfortunately, Usyk did not body him quickly, which led to questions like, is Usyk an actual heavyweight? I mean, it was for a heavyweight debut, it was whatever. But Chisora now is pretty much a name in the division. You know?
Yeah, and it's like the effort goes up 20%. You know, the power, everything, you know, because Chisora's no damn Chaz Witherspoon. Like, Chisora's gonna test you. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna try to punk you. He's gonna throw bombs. He's gonna hang back. He's gonna try to box you sometimes, fill you out, do whatever it takes to win. Like, that's Chisora. He's gonna war. So this is a fight. This is the type of fight we've been expecting to see from Usyk, to see if, like, look, is he the real deal at heavyweight? Like,
right, and Chisora's already been stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is gonna make like Chisora's a little long in the tooth. If he was a little younger, but I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is though, like Chisora has, I mean, in terms of getting bodies, only, I mean, he's had 3 knockout losses. I mean, he's lost to Hay. He was bodied by Hay. He was bodied with 1 punch by Dillian White, and then he was stopped on his feet by Tyson Fury. Like, he's only lost to anyone who's been at the top of the division. So
yeah.
I mean, in terms of, so I mean, can Usyk stop him? I mean, it's a possibility. It won't
maybe, but I think he'll definitely beat him. I don't think he'll have that much trouble unless he gets, I guess, Chisora really hurts him, which is a question mark. Can he take heavy punches?
Yeah, I mean, because Chisora...
Remember, because this is the type of level fight we wanted to see Usyk in from the beginning. See, the Chaz Witherspoon fight, it's like, that happened, and it wasn't what we wanted.
Right.
It was like, this is almost like the do-over that we were supposed to get.
Exactly. And David Haye, I know he's been making his rounds. Like, David Haye is trying to make sure that dude is right. Like, I mean, so he's definitely look like he's in shape right now. Like, there's no question about that. Like, Chisora's right, and like the Chisora has something. I mean, he knocked out David Price in this last fight, and then he scored a KO of the year type of against Sabilka. You know, a brutal one at that. You know, dude, you know, it was brutal. So I mean, he has momentum, and like, I mean, it'll be more like, can Usyk actually take that type of power from him, or not take that type of power from him? So I mean, so pretty much this is the fight where we're like, you know, ask some questions like how Usyk, because I mean, pretty much Usyk right now, even after this fight, he's the WBO mandatory, so he's next. You know, he has a shot against Anthony Joshua or Pulev if Pulev pulls it off. I don't think he will, but that's a different cast. So, but yeah, pretty much we all want to see Usyk, like if he wants to be seen as a top heavyweight and not be seen as someone, because there's been a lot of failed cruiserweights that come up, that, you know, there's been cruiserweights that actually went up to heavyweight and failed. There's a good list of them.
The list is kind of too long, honestly. too long to count.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's what everyone wants to see. And pretty much we all want to see Usyk, let's say, knock out, and I'm talking about like drop Chisora, like show some heavyweight power, or knock him out cold or something like that. You know, not like a
dominance.
Yeah, not like a stoppage where, you know, it just seemed like, you know, he's not hurting the guy, but the referee's like he's not fighting back, and then because all it does was just leave some more questions on the table. Yeah,
nah, you got to establish yourself now.
Yeah, this is the fight people wanted, so give them what they want.
Because, like, truth be told, like Usyk, I mean, like I said, I was not a believer in Usyk prior to the WBSS. Like, I always thought I thought dude was getting more hype than he probably deserved. Because I know HBO, you know, during that little time was pushing a lot of the Ukrainian fighters. Like, they were really pushing them.
Yeah, I liked Usyk. I always liked him.
Yeah,
I always saw the talent.
Yeah, I mean, he had the nice fight against like Glowicki. You know, that's where he won the belt, and then of course the Michael Hunter fight. I mean, Michael Hunter only has one loss, and
Usyk.
Yeah, and Usyk almost damn near killed that guy in the ring after after being outboxed for like 6 rounds, give or take. So I mean, Michael Hunter is he hasn't asked for that Usyk rematch yet, at least as far as I know. So it's just like, but then Usyk though, I mean, he proved his mettle. I mean, when he went through the WBSS and he unified all 4 titles and everything like that. So he proved he delivers on the platform round list. But I think now it's just more people that needs to put more respect on his name. And then
but it's also what have you done for me lately? Like,
yeah, that's the other.
He hasn't done nothing but fought Witherspoon, and the Bello win was good, but come on.
I do think the skill set is pound for pound though. Like, I mean, dude is a good fighter. Like,
he pound for pound, but if someone doesn't have him top 10 right now or top 5, I wouldn't say nothing.
So pretty much like
I would say something. He's definitely in the top 10. To me, I have him 5th, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we actually do our pound for pound list at the end of the year, like, Usyk is on everyone's list so far. That the last time we did it, so we'll see how things shift. If he goes up or he goes down. Most likely he'll probably go down a little bit because, unfortunately, his bigger fights are probably going to be next year. But he's still pound for pound top 10, for sure, at least to me. So how do you guys see? I'll leave it to you. How do you see Usyk and Chisora going?
A good 118-110 fight.
No, 118-110 fight. That's actually pretty believable. Like I said, Chisora is not an easy man to stop. Whether by TKO or KO. Like I said, Tyson Fury TKO, but Tyson Fury is not really a puncher. But Tyson Fury, again, his hands are heavy enough. It took him 10 rounds to really do some damage to him. It's possible, but I don't think Usyk has that type of heavy hands like Fury.
I could see him get the late stop. I could see him getting a late stoppage.
Yeah.
11, 12th round stoppage, but I think it goes the distance. I think he wins on points. Like what LB said, it basically took what I was gonna say. A 118-110 fight.
I mean, I'm probably looking at maybe Usyk stops him like either in the 10th or the 11th rounds, but just for the sake of not playing on both sides, I'll just say 11. He'll stop him in 11. But yeah, I guess 118-110 is definitely not out of the ordinary or whatever. So, but I do think he will stop Chisora. Now, obviously, we hope that he can at least drop him at least.
But for the sport, it'd be better if we had more of a 115-113 type of fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they do that, then
have a real good heavyweight fight that's close and competitive.
Yeah.
Right now, niggas be like, yo.
Yeah, obviously, as we're all fans, obviously, so we want to see a close fight like that. But a fight like that would not help Usyk's reputation at all. Chisora's maybe, but not Usyk's.
A 116-112 wouldn't help Usyk's reputation. That fight that might be too close. Yeah.
Exactly. It has to be at least a minimum like a 117-111.
Yeah.
Give or take, anything closer than that, I can always see like people will be like, Usyk's an overrated Euro, and he's, they're overrated Euros, quote unquote, but he's not one of them, But
nah, Chisora is the real deal.
Yeah.
But if you're worth your damn boxing gloves, you gotta beat them.
Exactly. So that will be, like I said, it's a good fight just to anticipate like who's going to show up. And obviously, if Chisora shows up and knocks out Usyk, then Usyk's gonna have to go back to the drawing board, and Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, that's probably one of the upsets of the year.
Yeah, and I know Eddie will probably be pissed. They're like, okay, we gotta run this back in 3 months.
But that's not gonna happen because what's his name? Pursoon ain't fighting on the undercard.
Good Lord.
Good word.
Her and heavyweights only get knocked out when she on the undercard getting robbed.
Oh man, though. But at least the undercard. It has a decent undercard. The co-main is George Kambosos. Me and P saw him fight at Madison Square Garden on the Crawford Mean Machine undercard, where he was facing Mickey Bay. He looked pretty damn good. Looked fast as fuck too, and then beating Mickey Bay.
Yeah.
And he's facing Lee Selby, and this is an IBF lightweight eliminator. Lee Selby, it depends. He could be a chore to watch unless you speak.
Which Lee Selby are we getting? Like
the one that got
Lee Selby's on, he's on, man. But
yeah,
when he's off, he's off.
Very much so. Personally, I want the Selby from the Warrington fight that had to fight because Warrington was putting so much hands on him. They had to.
You want the Selby to get his ass kicked then?
This is lightweight too because Selby moved up 2 divisions. So and Kambosos is a decent puncher, but he's also super fast too. So that could be a good fight. And then we got the only person to inflict the loss on Clarissa Shields' record, Savannah Marshall, also fighting for the vacant WBO women's middleweight title. So Savannah Marshall can punch. That's another thing. So it's so she may actually score. I can see her scoring a knockout in this one. So. If you're trying to campaign for, or you want to see a Marshall versus Clarissa Shields fight in the pros, you gotta hope for Savannah Marshall to actually win. Like I said, Halloween is pretty damn fucking loaded. And then I'll just briefly mention the appetizer card, which will be on Friday, which Jaime Munguia makes his return against Torino Johnson. This will be the Zone's first card since it's probably like February, I think. February or March, I forget. So, it's a decent card. They got Rashidi Ellis on the co-main. They got the women. They got Marlon Esparza, who had that bloody fight on the Canelo card, who outshined Canelo easily. You got Beck the Bully, who's the only person to have actually knocked out Clay Collard right now. And you got Lamont Roach. So the Golden Boy, and they got Elwin Soto, with the for the WBO junior flyweight title. So, on paper, the name, the star power is not like that, but it's a pretty decent card to watch. Because one thing about Golden Boy cards, though, they managed to build their prospects in a way where the matchmaking, where they are interesting fights. I know usually if you sit through a top ranked prospect card, a Golden Boy prospect card, it's something that's like night and day, and it's definitely night and day for prospect cards.
I feel like with Golden Boy, you're seeing more like competitive wars. Yeah,
especially, and I'm looking at the women's fight against Slim Urbina, who I know, who's also a pretty good fight. So I know, it's 10 rounds. Hopefully it's a 3-minute, 10-round fight. Because. That might be wishful thinking, but hey, I hope it is. So that's a good card to be, in terms of appetizer. But then the only thing I have to ask about this card is to ask you guys, how do you see this Munguia trade? Do you think it's like a step up to hopefully for a more significant middleweight fight, or do you think Toronto Johnson is a little bit too long in the tooth to really put up any type of challenge for him?
He's kind of long in the tooth. I think Munguia should win this one. I don't know if we'll see if Toriano will provide any resistance, but yeah,
it's kind of both for me. Munguia should win, but it's all about how many rounds it's gonna take, really.
Yeah, Terrell Jones has been KO'd twice. I mean, he was beating Curtis Stevens, and then Curtis Stevens pulled a rabbit out of the fucking hat, to win, and then he was knocked out and dominated by Sergey Derevyanchenko, in almost one-sided fashion. But at least he does have some momentum on the side. I mean, he took the zero of a prospect, Jason Quigley, who none of us are high on. Absolutely none of us.
Nope.
So he might have one more good performance. So hey, fuck it.
Yeah, hey, he takes. If he takes, I mean, obviously, yeah. If he takes Munguia's zero, that would also be a huge upset as well. So I mean, yeah, like if you're looking for, if you don't have anything to watch on Friday, yeah, check that card out, man. Like and of course it'll be live on DAZN. Hopefully in DAZN, hopefully this continues. The streak of good cards it had. And they had a good card this past weekend, which we'll get into for a different day. So yeah, 4 cards for the Halloween weekend. Boxing fans should eat. So
what time is the monster card on ESPN? That's what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, the main card's like 10 o'clock. The 7:30 is the top ranked prospects card. Same Usyk Chisora, I think the main fight starts at like 4, but the card starts at like 1 or 1:30. And of course, and then the pay-per-view starts at 9. All East Coast time, by the way. And then the DAZN card on Friday starts at like 7:30. And that go down the line. And then 10 o'clock is probably the main, 9 o'clock is the main, 9 or 10 is the main part for that one. Either one. So, I mean, boxing fans should eat well with this card. It's a good deal.
There's quite enough to go around.
Very much so. And then we hope that another fight of the year pops off.
Hold on, Javi Munguia fights Friday night, right?
That's correct.
And that's at what 9 o'clock?
Well, the card, I mean, the card starts at 9:30, but the fight itself will probably be like sometime after 10.
Oh, okay. Word.
If it does start.
Yeah, it seemed like this is a good weekend of boxing.
Very much so. So it should not disappoint. We gotta keep the momentum going. Like we were out boxing for 4 months, so yeah. If we're gonna have all these cards, 3 cards on Halloween and then 1 on Halloween's Eve, so be it. It'll be a good weekend, man. So
as long as we have a quality over quantity, though. So let's hope they're all good fights now.
Yeah, of course. Yes, yeah. Quality.
I think we got enough. I think the quality is just about right for this weekend.
Yeah, it is. So like right now, there's different storylines going around.
You got some pound for pound. You got superstars.
Yeah.
You got like a whole mix of it.
Yeah. So it's a very good mixture. So boxing fans, if you say that there are no fights, there's no real fights, then clearly you're not watching. You know what I'm saying? There's more than enough that people can eat and eat very well. So
it's a little guys weekend.
Yeah, that's the little guys weekend. They can fight. God damn it, they can fight. We gotta make sure we have to keep reiterating it. Just because it's small,
let's do them all at the end of October, the last 2 weeks. Damn, just take them all.
Word. Oh man, so we've come to the end of our, show for the previews. P, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, you already know. Let's hope for another good week of boxing. I want to be fed well. I'm eating good. Well, all boxing fans are eating good. So let's keep the food going. Let's keep the good meals going. I don't want to have to fucking get mad because I'm gonna leave a 1-star review because this week of boxing sucked. So no more 1-star reviews for the week. All right, that's all I'm asking for. So, but other than that, you already know the vibes. Ringgangradio.com, com. You know where to follow us on? Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Ring Gang Cartoons 1 and 2 out. Tekken Destroy out if you still haven't, you still in hibernation. Finals if you still in hibernation. Get your ass up and get through all that.
Yes, sir. That's what it is. LB, man, do you have any final thoughts, bro?
Oh man, I'm just tired. Ringing.
Bro.
Yeah, excuse me, my bad. I'm going through.
That's just the light skin thing going on. That's all good.
Nah, healing. I'm getting my geese Howard on. I'm recovering.
Word.
I come back, evil laughing and pimp slapping niggas.
Yes, sir.
But ringgameradio.com. Y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned in. We keep growing. We keep multiplying. Tell everybody about it. Share. You see the knockouts on IG. You see the articles. You see the whatever. The bars and boxing, the music, the artwork, all of that. That's everything. We got it all. So just make sure you holler at us. And follow me, Shuttleworth Soul Wars on Twitter, Instagram. You know how it go.
Absolutely, bro. So it's the same thing with me. I mean, not, like I say, fall ringing, because like I say, we keep growing, man. Like we hit you with things on every different, from the podcast on Podomatic or Anchor or Spotify. We Instagram, we have an Instagram, so make sure you sub to that and you tell your friends to sub to that. YouTube especially, our base is growing there. On Twitter, of course, we're growing there too, man. Like we're everywhere, man. And of course we have the website, So we're just we just trying to do things, man. We're trying to do big things. We do this for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because we love the sport too. We want to help it grow in any way possible that we can, that we can do it. So that's pretty much about it for myself. Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, for LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, for King P, Bodega P. This has been a wonderful live podcast of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.